Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking love after lockup, love during lockup, season 4, episode 42. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. All right now, peeps, we are back. We've got new couples, and this is really interesting. I like it when we have new couples. Well, the first couple that they introduce us to is Jade and Chris. Now, honey, listen. Jade is 33 years old, and the first thing that crossed her mind when she saw Chris, she said, how is it that somebody so handsome and sexy could be in prison? That told me everything I needed to know about this girl. Girl, please. Prisons are full of extremely sexy men. Okay? Just because you are sexy does not mean that you are a good person. She said that shortly after she met Chris, by shortly after, she meant 7 months later, she married him. I said, Lord, that's a little too soon for me. She says that Chris has a little money. He's Native American and his tribe owns a casino. So every month he gets anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000. And it goes into a joint account that she has access to. She said full access to. Honey, I found out that she is also an influencer. I hear that she's pretty big over on the TikTok. And her TikToks are about being an inmate's wife. Anyway, Chris is supporting her lifestyle. She says that he has bought her this house, and the house is absolutely gorgeous. It even has an in-ground pool. He has bought her a beautiful RV. Listen, I want an RV. Anyway, this is not about me. He has also bought her a very nice car and an ATV, and I said to myself, it sounds like to me she married him and she's dealing with him because he's got all that money. He is definitely supporting her lifestyle, and she enjoys this lifestyle. Later on in the episode, her sister says that. Her sister said if he didn't have any money, she would be out of this relationship quick and in a hurry. I have to agree with that. And I want to know, where are the men that will buy you a house and an RV, who are not in jail? I already bought my own house, but if there's a man listening and you want to buy me an RV, just send me an email, something. I'm just saying. Anyway, this is not about me. So she's talking to her friends because she's having a party. It's her sister's 33rd birthday. And one of her friends says, if he's got money, then why did he end up going to jail for stealing? And I said, I was just thinking that, why is this wealthy man, in jail for stealing? Well, it turns out he's got a meth habit. No, ma'am. What if when he gets out of jail, he decides to go back to the meth? Girl, please, that house will be in foreclosure before you know it. The man has been sentenced to 32 years in jail, and he has been arrested 7 other times before that. However, she says that he only has to serve a portion of the 32 years, and he's eligible to get out in 2024. I don't know why the red flags was not a waving. She says this is going to be his last time in jail. No, ma'am. 7th times before, making this the 8th time. Honey, listen, there will be a 9th and a 10th time, and probably all the way up to 15 times, depending on how much time he gets. She's got a tattoo of him on her arm, but she also has a tattoo of his name and a heart on her butt. And she shows it to the crowd, which includes her daddy. I said, there's something wrong here. Your daddy is right here and you are flipping up your skirt to show your butt. I didn't like that much. She tells Chris, before the party starts to call her back in about an hour. She's enjoying her party, having a good time. You can't blame her for that. She leaves her phone in the house and he is calling back to back to back. Then when she finally realizes that this dude is calling, she picks up the phone and he goes in to talk to her as if he's her daddy. I said, oh, no. Okay, fella, this is not okay. You are on the speakerphone. They're having a FaceTime call and he is pretty much reading her the riot act. Whenever her friends are around or whenever she's having a party, she doesn't answer his phone calls. And I think she was a little bit embarrassed. So she gets smart with him and tells him that maybe he shouldn't call her that much, and she hangs up. I said, okay, so you're having this party and everybody's in the house that he paid for, enjoying the food and the Dom Perignon that he's paid for, and you don't want to pick up this man's calls. Now listen, I don't think that he should be so possessive, but at the same time, just pick up the man's call and talk to him for a couple minutes and hang up. It's the least you can do. You are living a real nice life over there and not even having to put out, or deal with him and leaving the toilet seat up or his socks all over the damn place. You don't have to, clean up after the man. All you have to do is answer the phone and go to the bank. I'm just saying. Now, they talked to Jade's mama, and her mom is extremely upset. She didn't want to talk too much about it, but she was crying, and she thinks that they are in an extremely toxic relationship. And after seeing how things went when she hung up on him and how he was talking to her on that phone, I also agree that she's in a toxic relationship. But what really freaked me out is when she would not answer his repeated calls, this dude not only called both of her sisters, but one of her friends. And I said to myself, why does he have their phone numbers? I can understand him possibly having her mama's number. He's in the prison. You know what I mean? What does he need both of your sister's numbers and your best friend's phone number? And now he's blowing up all of their phones to get you on the line. That is a no-go. One of the girls said that it really freaks her out to have him calling her. It would really freak me out to have him on my line as well. And they're all concerned. If he acts this way while he's in prison, what exactly is he going to do when he's out of prison? And one of her sisters says that. She says that's what she's really afraid of, is how is he going to behave when he gets out of jail? And the rest of the family, they did talk about how they don't really like him, how he doesn't trust her, how he calls her too much. He's kind of putting a little bit of a tracking on her by calling so much, but you don't seem to mind spending his money and being in his house and drinking the Dom Perignon. I personally think that Jade should really be cautious about this relationship. He seems to have a temper, and girl, no ma'am. I think they should also be concerned about the fact that he's been to jail 8 times. Also, Sarcasm posted that Jade didn't mention on the show that when Chris went to jail this last time for robbery, that he had stolen from a woman who was diagnosed with leukemia, and he took all of her experimental cancer medication. Oh, hell no. I don't care how much money a person has. If you don't have a good heart and you're out here robbing people, especially people who have cancer, and you're stealing their medicine, I would never deal with you. I don't give a damn if you do buy me an RV. I'll return that damn thing. It's not worth it. Jade's sister pretty much also acknowledged when she said that if he didn't have all that money, that she wouldn't be with him. So clearly you're stating that Jade is a gold digger. Anyway, you guys, I'm interested in seeing where this goes. Ooh, I'm tired of them. Now, the next couple, I think it's Leticia and Keith. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. So Leticia is a single mom, and immediately it gives me red flags. She's a single mom of 2 beautiful daughters, and I said, oh gosh, here we go. Another single mom with beautiful children ready to bring home an inmate. This is never a good idea. It really isn't. And she throws me off too, because she said when she seen him and realized he had gold teeth, a guy with gold teeth really makes her panties drop. I said, girl, is your brain on? What is going on? So just any dude with gold teeth to have your panties flying? No, ma'am. So Keith is locked up in the federal penitentiary for distributing, if you know what I mean. After dating him for 2 years, on her way into the Walgreens, she's out in the parking lot on the cell phone. He asked her to marry him. And of course, this is a dream come true. Every woman wants to be proposed to over the prison phone, out in the middle of the Walgreens parking lot. She says yes. Now, at first I said, now this is really cool. She's out here running the tax business. This is great. She must have, a good head on her shoulders. Not great with relationships, but she must be really business savvy. Then she gets in there and tells her employees that they will not only be working for her, they're going to now be working for her husband, who is, in prison behind bars for, dealing. And I said, well, shit. No, ma'am. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, the day we got in that conference room and she mentioned that her prison bae was going to be running the tax service that I work for, that I will be doing taxes for people with my name on them, that would have been my last day. The way I would have been running the hell up out of there. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm sure that Liberty Tax is hiring. H&R Block is hiring. I'm pretty sure if the three of us could get together, we might be able to open up our own tax service. No, ma'am. I would be really scared that her and her husband was going to lead all of us to go to prison for some sort of racketeering or money laundering. She's talking about her husband is really smart, and he might be, okay, but he still ended up in the federal pen. Anyway, Bernie Madoff ended up in the federal pen. Anyway, she says that her husband is going to get a whole bunch of inmates to do their taxes with them because they make, 18 or 17 cents an hour. And I said, well, that couldn't be more than $3.50 a year. They can't afford the fee that you would charge to file the taxes. Like, what the shit? Anyway, her husband's going to, pass out flyers in the prison. Then I find out through sarcasm that Leticia, she's a felon. She's been arrested multiple times. It's ringing red flag. All of her customers might want to, have their taxes revisited. In my opinion, I don't want my taxes done by, multiple time felon. I'm just saying, I'm judgy. Sorry. Anyway, one of the girls says, she doesn't think it's a good idea to have her husband running the business, and she tells her that she can put in her resignation. You ain't got to tell me to do shit. I quit, okay? You are not getting a 2-week notice. I'm out of here. Anyway, she decides to take the girls out for drinks, some cocktails and a little dinner, a little lunch. And one of the girls, who talks way too damn much, let it slip that one of her other employees has had the sex and a relationship with her husband. She looked real pissed at the end. I said, oh, crap. Maybe the lady just dated him and they didn't actually have the sex. But even if she did have the sex, she didn't know you, and she didn't know you was going to marry this felon and try to turn him into a boss. I'm just saying, this is ridiculous. Now, honey, listen, speaking of ridiculous, oh my God, Ranika and Ashante. I hope that I'm saying that right. Asante. I don't know. I'll get it before the end of the season. So, she does something that I thought was very interesting. I thought it was very inventive. She has a whole bunch of eyelash vending machines. I said, well, shit, I never would have thunk it. I don't even wear eyelashes, but I'm thinking about how can I get me some of them vending machines. She says that she makes about $20,000 a year, I think, off of each one of her vending machines, and she has 5 vending machines. And I said, well, shit, that's not a bad deal. But I don't understand why your weave is so bad. Now, everybody knows I have zero fashion sense. I don't know anything about weaves or wigs because I don't wear wigs or weaves. But I do know one that looks really pretty when I see it. And I know one that costs a lot of money when I see it. I don't know what's going on with hers. And I don't know what's going on with all that baby hair on the side. And I'm not really sure why WeTV kept getting close-ups of her bad wig. I wish they stopped doing that. That really bothered me. She also let us know that not only is she vending machine eyelash selling, she also is a rapper. I think they have to have one rapper every season, at least. Now, she has decided that she wants to be with her man permanently. He lives in Atlanta where he's in jail, and she is going to move her 2 beautiful teenage daughters down to Atlanta. I said, now, hell no. You are going to rip these girls away from all the people that they know, all the family that they know, and right up out of high school with all the friends that they have probably went to school with since kindergarten, so you can go down and chase a felon in Atlanta? No, ma'am. Anyway, this dude is in jail for robbery and grand theft auto. Now she's in there checking on her vending machines and she's talking to one of her friends, and her friend is my kind of people. She said, "Did you know him before he went to jail? Why do you want to turn your life upside down for a man that you didn't even know before he went into jail? You've never even seen him in person. Why would you want to do this to your life? You know this isn't going to work out." I said, "Say it again, friend. Say it again." Then she lets us know that she sends him anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500 every month. And when she moves down to Atlanta and gets her apartment and everything, she's going to be taking care of him for about 4 months until he can get himself together. I said, "No, ma'am, you need to get yourself together, because right now you're telling us that you're moving your children away from your mama's house. So you and your kids live with your mama. Maybe if you weren't giving him $2,000 to $2,500 a month, you could actually have your own nice place right here in town with your family and friends." I'm sorry, that really just ticked me off a tiny bit. She tells her friend that he's there for her. He listens to her. She says what we all was thinking. Of course he's there for you and he's listening to you. He's in jail. He don't have anything else to do. First of all, I would listen to you too, ma'am, if you were going to send me $2,000 or $2,500 a month. Call me, girl. What you want to talk about? I'll call you. Text me, send me an email. I am me. Get on Teams. Send me the money. I mean, are you kidding me? Her friend says, "Red flag, red flag." I said, "Girl, listen, you have 99 red flags going on around here." I'm saying to myself, something is wrong with you besides that hair. Anyway, she sits down and she talks to her dad. She tells her dad she's in love with this dude and she's going to move down to Atlanta. By the way, he's in the prison. Her dad is looking at her as if she has lost her ever-loving mind. He tells her pretty much that he feels bad, as if this is partly his fault because he was in jail for 17 or 18 years of her life when she was growing up. He says, "I moved back here to be closer to you and my grandchildren, and now you're up and moving to be with a convict." And she said, "Well, you were a convict." Now listen, her daddy was in the big house for trafficking. You know, her dad tells her, "Listen, let me be real with you. Most dudes in jail, they always selling a pipe dream. They always know exactly what to say, what to do to get you roped in. Don't fall for this fake dream. What is his real plans? What is his intentions for you?" And she thinks that this is real love. This is real love. We're going to be together. This is going to work out. And I seen in the previews that he's getting out and they're going to be on the next season of Love After Lockup. Listen, I have a feeling that she's going to learn the hard way. Her dad tried to tell her the truth. He tried to give her some real honest advice and she didn't listen. My mom used to make this comment, "A hard head make a soft ass." And, you know, that just means you're going to find out and it's not going to be good. I personally think that she should leave her kids with her mom and, you know, send money back to take care of those kids until you get your heart broken and you come on back home. Don't uproot those children. You know, she is reminding me of Indy. I'm not here for it. Up next, they introduce us to Andy and Brittany. And Love After Lockup, people, this is the 4th Brittany now. Please, broaden your horizons. Can we get a Brit? Something. Jeez, now when we go out on Twitter, we're going to need a last initial so that people will know which Brittany we talking about. Not Ray's Brittany, you know, this Brittany. Anyway, Andy is a former cop who is now in love with Brittany. Now, the problem I have here is he says that he met Brittany on an online prison pen pal site. He was just out there because he was curious. However, he started his policing career working in a jail. I'm on to you, buddy. Now, here's the thing. He says that the reason he's not a police officer anymore is because he was unable to work the night shift after his wife, the mother of his 3 children, became a drug addict, and he had to divorce her and get full custody of the kids in order to be with them and protect them from the mother and her escalating drug habits. He had to get a new career. However, his lovely lady, Brittany, who is in jail for possession. She is also an addict. How much sense does that make? Does that make sense to anybody? What, am I missing something? You divorced your wife, who was an addict. made sure that you had custody of these children to keep them away from her and her addict ways. But now you in love with Brittany and you want to bring her into the life of your children. That sounds about right. I mean, that sounds about dumb. Goodness gracious. Anyway, he's still friends with a cop. They've been friends for many, many years. And his friend tells him, listen, I'm concerned. I'm concerned because this girl could just be in it for financial gain, considering that you are sending her money, you are financially supporting her. And what happens when she comes out of jail and she just drops you? What about her drug habits? Then his friend asked him, well, did you run a background check on her? He says no. I said, now wait a minute. You're a former cop. You used to work in a prison. You know how the game goes, but you didn't check up on this woman, not even a tiny bit. Now then I get a little worried, a little confused, because his friend who is a cop, one, he's on the show wearing his uniform. Two, he pulls out his laptop and runs a background check on this girl. And I said, wait a minute. Is that your police issued laptop? And are you using official police software to look this girl up? This has to be illegal. I think you about to be fired. Anyway, he looks this girl up. Come to find out, she's had multiple arrests. But not only that, she has lived with 25 different men in her short life. And some of them were out of state. And this dude said he never knew she even lived out of state. Honey, listen, you are an idiot. You are about to be played. She looks younger than you. She's super cute and perky. And you are about to be used and abused. Listen, Andy, I don't mean to be rude, but you a sucker. She's about to eat you up and spit you out. You could not really, truly, 100% been a good cop with good common sense, because no other cop is doing this. I'm serious, Andy. Andy, break up. I'm just saying. All right, now this next couple, the last couple they introduced us to, is Brittany and Key Rock. Now, honey, listen, I like Brittany. I think she's super cute and she's young. She's got a lot of life to live. And I'm hoping she doesn't make any big mistakes that, land her back in jail. So she just got out of jail. She's now in cosmetology school, and her and Key Rock are in love, madly in love. And she says that she met him in prison. And the whole time I said, well, what prison do they have male and female inmates? Because I wouldn't think that was safe to put them in the same prison unless, you have one side of the prison that's for men and the other side for women, and they never cross paths. That I can understand, but no. Well, later on we find out that Key Rock is a transgender, very attractive young man. Anyway, she's in cosmetology school, and she's got a cosmetology professor or instructor who is nosy as hell. She's my kind of people. I don't think I would tell her all my business, but she was asking the questions I wanted to know. Only thing I could think of too is while she was asking all those questions and she was putting that color in that woman's hair, I kept thinking to myself, is she applying this color properly? And if she's instructing, if she would just shut up and stop asking all these questions, the rest of the students, they deserve to know what you're doing and, why you're applying the product that way. They didn't get any instruction. You was talking too much. Anyway, we find out her and K-Rock were in a maximum security facility. She was in there for robbery. She set up a robbery. I said, oh my gosh, she was 18 years old. You out here setting up robberies, girl. She says that she has changed her ways and she wants a brighter future, and that is why she is in cosmetology school, and it's all because of her fiance, K-Rock. I said, well, it's nice to see that he has been supportive in helping you decide you don't want to go down this bad path. You want to, legally make your funds instead of, setting up robberies. Turns out that Key Rock was in jail for robbery as well, and he robbed people on Christmas. I said, damn it, were you wearing a Grinch outfit? This is ridiculous. How do you rob somebody on Christmas? Now, Key Rock said he started his transition 18 months ago, and now he feels better than ever. He really feels like himself, and he is really happy. And that made me happy. Every person should be able to feel like themselves. Every person should feel comfortable in their own skin, and I am happy for him. Now listen, the instructor lady who should be instructing, she wanted to know if they'd been having the sex in prison. And she said yes. And then she was showing off her engagement ring, and the woman said, "Oh, that's really nice. How much was it?" I said, "Well, shit, lady. These questions are rude as hell, but how much was it?" She tells the lady that she thinks it was about $4,000, and he has some investments, and he has a whole bunch of sugar mommies on the prison website and on the phone. Then she asked her how she feels about him having all those sugar mommies, and she says she doesn't care because the money is coming to her. Now honey, listen, I don't appreciate that. I would care. Well, yes, if I was 22 I might not care, but being my big age, I care. It's not all right to take money from people like this, knowing good and daggone well you have no intentions on being with them when you get out. She says that she is really confident in her relationship. She doesn't care what anybody has to say, which is a lie, because before she went into the school for her non-instruction, she had just told him that everybody keeps saying bad things about their relationship, and she cared. I'm just saying. All I can say is I'm wishing the best for this girl, and I'm also wishing the best for Key Rock. I think that both of them could be really good people, and they could do really good things legally on the outside. But they're definitely going to have some challenges. I'm wishing them the best, and I can't wait to find out what's going to happen with this couple. Anyway, peeps, get down in the comments and let me know what you think about these couples. And until next time, bye.